Hey, friends, and welcome to episode 14, My Midlife Body. Today, I want to talk about our midlife bodies because so many of my clients want to talk about this when they come and work with me, and because I'm experiencing midlife body stuff. Now, this is how I kind of run my life is whatever I'm experiencing, whatever comes up, that is different or needs to be worked on or whatever it is, I solve for that problem and then I get curious about it and then I teach it to other people. So that's kind of how I've lived my whole life. I'm a very curious person. And so when this whole midlife thing came along, I'm like, what is going on? And I needed to figure it out. And then I did figure it out and I'm still figuring it out. And I wanted to share it with all of you midlife mamas because it's so much easier when we have a roadmap or we have somebody that has gone before us or figured it out, because I also am not your mainstream kind of person. I believe that nature has all the answers and our bodies are a part of nature. And so if we can really listen to what our body is telling us, it's going to give us all the answers. So everything that happens with our body is feedback. And I like to get curious about it and dissect it and figure it out. And so today, the reason I wanted to talk about our midlife bodies are because that's the biggest thing that comes up with my clients. And like I said earlier, myself included, like when I get up out of bed in the morning and I put my feet on the floor and my feet ache, like what is going on? Because I've always been an active person, an athletic person. I've always played sports and done all the things. And so when something happens, when this comes up and my body can't do what it used to do, I'm like, we got to get curious about this and we got to figure this out so that we can keep doing all the fun things that we love to do. And by we, I mean me and all of the people listening. And yours might not be what I like to do, but insert what you like to do and let's figure out how we can have a life full of that, full of things we love. And one of the things that comes up are aches and pains. Like I talked about, when you wake up in the morning and you're like, ooh, ah, to the bathroom, we know we got a problem. Inflammation. Inflammation is a big one because as we get older, our joints have a ton of inflammation, especially if we use them repetitively for certain things. Mobility is being able to move the way we want to move. Old injuries. This is where a lot of the inflammation comes up. And as you get older, that injury becomes bigger and bigger and it becomes more of a hindrance. So you want to solve for that. And another one is midlife weight loss. This has to be the biggest one that comes up when talking about midlife bodies. So we're going to just kind of lump them all together and talk about how we can solve for these problems. And I think one of the biggest things that we do as midlife women is we compare. Remember, comparison is the thief of all joy. I did an episode on this, episode number 2, so you can go and check it out. But instead of comparing ourselves to others like we used to, now we compare ourselves to our old self. And that is never going to end well. Oh, I used to be able to do that. When I was in my 20s, I could, run a half marathon, no problem. And as our bodies change, we want to be super kind to ourselves and be really gracious and respectful about how we feel about our bodies today. We don't want to compare ourselves to our 20-year-old self, because our body is in a totally different place. It's a totally different body. Our bodies are always changing and growing. And we know because we've gone through puberty, and we know because we were pregnant and we've had babies. And then once again, our body is changing in midlife. And one of the biggest things that makes all these changes is our changing hormones. Hormones rule our bodies. And I will say that till the day I die. Everything that happens in our body is regulated by the hormones. They are the gatekeeper. And your body is genius. Our bodies are genius because they are part of nature. And nature always knows what it's doing. So our job is to listen to our body and figure out what it's telling us. We don't want to have something happen and just take a pill to stop that from happening. Because when we have a symptom, that's our body saying, hey, look here, look at this, something's going on. And then we want to take that symptom as feedback and figure it out. What's going on? What's going on? If our body isn't in perfect health, it's for two reasons. Super simple. Either one, toxicity, there's too much of something going on in our body, or deficiency, there's not enough of something. And either one of these will throw it out of homeostasis. So our job is to figure out which one is it? It could be a little bit of both too. So we got to really figure it out. And how do we do that? We listen to the body. We look at the symptoms and we take that as clues and feedback. And then we kind of follow the path because it's telling us exactly what we need. We just need to learn how to listen. And so when midlife happens, sometimes we can really feel upset or down or discouraged with how our body is changing because we're getting back into our lives, putting us first. And now we find maybe we can't do some of the things that we used to be able to do. I used to love to runner. I could solve all of my problems by going for like a 5K run and the world is a better place. But because of an old knee injury, I just can't run anymore. And so instead of feeling bad about that and feeling sorry for myself, I just took up something else. So I ride my bike, or as you know, if you listen to the podcast, I'm obsessed with tennis. And so that's how I get my exercise in. I think it's really important that we know as women, we don't need to kill ourselves at the gym to burn calories. That's not the way it works. But what we do need to do is we need to move our body for 30 minutes a day in a way that feels really good for us. So we want to be doing something that we enjoy doing for 30 minutes. It could be forest bathing, like walking in nature, or going for a bike ride, or going for a swim. It could be doing dance, just dancing in your kitchen. It could be yoga. All of these things count. It doesn't have to be killing yourself at the gym because we are not counting calories here. That's in my world, that doesn't exist. We're living large. We're eating all the amazing foods that we love to heal our body, but we're not counting calories. And so you don't need to burn a certain number of calories in your exercise. What you need to do is keep your body moving. The point of the exercise, of the moving your body, is just that you actually move your body and you're using it and you're getting all the synovial fluid pumping and you're getting that pounding so that you're, working on your bones, keeping them nice and strong, and that you get your body outside and do something that gets those endorphins going. It feels good. It feels so good. So this is a difference for us. We're changing how we think about exercise to transferring it into, oh, I'm just moving my body. I'm going to move my body for 30 minutes a day. So that's one of the biggest changes, is what our bodies can and can't do and how we think about what we're doing with our bodies. So instead of thinking, I have to move my body to burn calories, we want to be thinking, I want to move my body just to keep it moving, move it or lose it. And it makes me feel good when I get outside in nature or when I go swimming or whatever that is. Here's a funny story. In my group that I coach, we were talking about, I can't remember what we were talking about, something about things that we're struggling with. And one of the ladies started talking about this pair of jeans that she had. And she really wanted to fit into these old pair of jeans. And they've been in her closet for a very long time. And her mission in life was to get into these jeans. And as we kind of got deeper into the story, we got curious about, like, why do you need to fit into those jeans? Because those jeans are a representation of the comparison of your old self. If you've had those jeans for years and years, why does your brain feel like it needs to shove your midlife body into the jeans that you bought for a non-midlife body? Your body will physically change. Just like when you had a baby, your hips changed. Jeans didn't fit the same. The same thing will happen in midlife because of the hormones and the changes in your body. And so instead of trying to stuff your midlife body into non-midlife jeans, get a new pair of jeans. And when we talked about this, we were like, our minds were blown because that was never a thought. And I'm not just talking about this one person who was talking about it. Every single person on the call were like, yes, I have those jeans too. Yes, me too. Me too. And myself included. There isn't one person that didn't have that pair of jeans sitting in the closet taunting us, like making us like totally go crazy to try to get back into them. Without the thought of, oh my God, let's just give them away to someone else. Let's just let them be somebody else's problem. And let's buy a new pair of jeans that feel good for my body. Because when I'm trying to put my new body into an old pair of jeans, it won't fit. And then I'm going to start to have drama about it in my brain. And that is never fun. And when we talked about actually just buying new jeans, it was so fascinating what was going on in our brains about letting go of what was. Because the jeans are just a metaphor. Letting go of what was and being open for something new, of what is. And how easy is it just to buy a pair of jeans that make me feel good when I put them on? Because they're just a pair of jeans, right? Letting go of what was and making room for what is. And that's you creating that space for yourself, that gorgeous, delicious, kind, compassionate, genuine, heartfelt space where it says, hey, it's okay to be in midlife and it's okay that your body is changing. And this is where we're at. Let's go for it. What are we going to do with this? What are we going to create today? And when it does, I just was fascinated by the fact that we all had these thoughts about our jeans. And so when it comes to our bodies and midlife, the biggest thing is always the food. Always the food. I see food as medicine. I see food as a way of healing my body. And so whenever something's going on with my body, I find out what it is. And the first question I ask myself is, what food would help me with this? And so if you don't know, a way you can track it down is you can find out a supplement that would be helpful for that. And then what food has those nutrients, those vitamins or minerals in it, and then eat that food. The food is always the best choice because Mother Nature made it. And it's synergistically made with all the perfect amount of phytonutrients and vitamins and minerals and everything that it needs to go together. Like it's purposefully made for that. So if we can track it down, if you got something going on, food is always the answer. There's a type of food that can help you heal your body. Remember, you don't need to kill yourself at the gym and count calories. What you do need to do is eat more of the foods that heal your body and help you to feel full. Okay, I said that. If you want to eat your way to health, you want to eat your way to loving your body, to having a body where you're like, I feel good in my body. Because the one thing that stops midlife women the most or the quickest from going out and following their dreams is how we feel about our body. So if we could put that aside, if that wasn't a thing, what would we do? If we weren't embarrassed about our body or not loving our body or hating our bodies, what would we go out and do in the world? And my mission is to totally eliminate that. And the way I love to eliminate that is by eating more food. Now, this is a whole other episode. I will do another episode on this, but as your body changes, it needs different things. And when you know what kind of foods to put into your midlife body, you can eat more food and lose weight. If you want to watch this in action, go to my Instagram channel. It's Heather London Coaching, because I show all the foods that I eat. We don't want to be thinking of lack. We don't want to be thinking of restrictions. We want to be thinking of what foods can help my body, what foods can heal my body, and how can I get more of this into my body? so that you feel satisfied, so that you're not thinking about how much can I eat? You're thinking about, what does my body feel like? You're always listening to our body for cues. Is my body hungry? Yes. So I'm going to eat. What am I going to eat? I'm going to eat these foods that help my midlife body heal itself. And then I'm going to stop eating when my body says, hey, you've had enough. And so you want to be in charge of your body and how you feel with the foods that you eat. And I know I have been in the health and fitness industry for over 15 years, so I'm well aware. And I too have been suckered into all of these different fads and diets and eat this and don't eat that and all of it. But I finally figured out, because I'm in midlife. And so, like I said at the beginning of the show, I'm a curious person. And when my body started to change, because I've always been an athletic, healthy, in shape person, and my body slowly started to change. I slowly started to hold on to more weight and describe, like, I felt puffy, not like totally lean and connected. And so I got curious about it. And I found out, oh, what's happening to my body? It's changing because it's in midlife, so the hormones change. Remember, when it comes to weight loss, especially in midlife, what's the number one thing you want to regulate? Your insulin, because your insulin is your fat storage hormone. And how do you regulate insulin? With the foods that you eat or with the foods that you don't eat. And when you can have a life where you're not consumed by what you're eating, thinking all the time about how much you weigh or what foods you can eat, you are liberated. You are free. Life changes because you're not obsessed with food and eating and your body all the time. You just eat until you feel satisfied. And it could be a lot of food. I eat a lot of food. I love to eat. Anytime somebody's trying to sell me on something where it requires restrictions of how much food you can have, I'm out, because I love to eat. And I'm going to be a cranky person if I'm not eating a lot of food. I love to eat. Our bodies were designed to eat. But over the centuries, our food has changed. And so what we're eating today in modern day society is not food. It's been processed, but also manipulated, and everything has been in a lab designed for us to be addicted to this. Food isn't created from like, hey, how many nutrients can we pack into this food so that the people eating it are going to get the most out of it and be the healthiest they could possibly be? That is not how the food industry thinks. They think, how can I get them to eat more? And then they create their food based on eating more of their food. They have scientists that create the yum factor. It's like, how much yum can we make where we get them to eat, just to want to keep eating, but not too much that it stops them too soon because it's too sweet or something like that. What's the perfect amount of salt and sugar and fat that we can add to this food that gets them addicted, keeps them coming back for more? They're never quite satisfied. They're never going to be full of it. So we can sell more. We don't care what it does to their body. We don't care if it makes them unwell, because we want to just sell more of our stuff. And I know that is hard to wrap your brain around, because I've been studying nutrition for a very long time. And as a holistic nutritionist, I know that the body can heal itself if you give it the right foods. And anything processed does not have your best interest at heart. Nothing processed. So if you just left this podcast today and only ate whole, clean foods, you're winning. Your body's going to start to heal itself. You're going to be able to eat more and lose weight. Whole processed food, back to nature. Just get back to nature. That's all you need to do, because remember, our body is nature and it knows all the answers. We just have to learn to listen. We have to learn how to trust our bodies again. We have given away our trust to people that don't even know us, and we're counting on them to tell us what they think we should eat instead of listening to our intuition. We know what to do. We know what to eat. And if you're not doing that, then you want to get help with that. I can help you with that. This is my zone of genius. This is how I help people. This is how I help my clients, is by teaching them to listen to their body, to trust their body again, because it has all the answers. And in doing so, you're going to learn exactly what to eat. You're going to learn what not to eat in midlife, how you can eat more. You can eat until you feel so satisfied and then not be hungry and lose weight. Eat more and lose weight. It's amazing. And it's a thing. So I want to leave you with this, my friends. You are not the problem. It's the food that we've been eating that has thrown us off our game. And then you throw in the change of hormones, which our body is designed to do that. Our body is designed to go from being able to have a child to not being able to have a child. It's designed for that. And so instead of stopping it, we want to ask ourselves, how do we go with that? How do we enhance that? How do we naturally make this easier for ourselves? And the answer is food. It's our thoughts on our food. And I would love to help you with this. So if you want to learn more, if you're struggling with your body, with the aches and the pains or the weight, even if it's just a little bit, you're feeling like you're not yourself, you want to reach out to me. I can help you with this. Work with me, and I will show you exactly how you can learn what's right for your body and how to heal your body with food. So if you want to work with me, or if you want to find out more, book your free consult. I'll drop the link in the show notes, and then we'll jump on a call and see how we can best work together. All right, remember, nothing's gone wrong. You're just in midlife and your body is changing. And if you don't resist it, if you go with it and get curious about it, you're going to be able to enjoy midlife and not struggle with it and not suffer with it. There is another way, and I can show you how. Okay, friends, thank you for listening. I love and appreciate every single one of you. Remember, always, always, always love yourself first and have an amazing day.